Hello, hello. Welcome back to our ab series. We are going to do some weighted abs today. And I got to just tell you guys before we get into it how disappointed I am with this week. So number one, if you've done the 45-minute workout, you've probably seen, I tried it. I knew that audio does not go well with Zoom, but I was like, what the heck, let's try again. Who knows why. Anyway, you can barely hear me. It's very distracting. So I'm sorry about that. That's a one and done thing. I won't be doing that again. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing with linking playlists and stuff. I just thought there'd be so much dead silence because we were doing a 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 thing. So you knew the moves and you were just doing them for 10 minutes, but never again. Anyway, and then this workout, I actually just did this workout and didn't record it. So now I'm back to record it. But this is another ab one, and as I said in the other ones, guys, I just feel like I keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, it makes sense. I guess this is what people say happens, but it still feels unusual, even though I know I'm almost 6 months pregnant. I look in the mirror and I'm like, who put a watermelon in my shirt? And why don't any of my clothes fit? Such a weird thing. Anyway, that being said, I cannot do a lot of traditional ab movements, but I want you to still work your core and do traditional ab movements. So I'm going to explain as best I can. I'm going to do what I can, but again, what I will be able to do is going to look a lot different than what you can do. And some of these moves, I can't even do at all, so I'll just be sitting here chatting with you. But hopefully you will understand through my limited amount of demo ability right now and my verbal cues. So it's actually not that much different than if you took my classes in person. So hopefully it's fine, but let me know, give me some feedback. So we are going to start with dumbbell twists. We are going to use dumbbells. I have 2 light dumbbells here. You do not need to do this with dumbbells. It is still so effective and so hard with body weight, but this just brings it up a notch if you want that. So I have 5s, 3s would work good too. I wouldn't go very heavy for this. So I would either use something like 3s, 5s, 8s or nothing, or cans, something like that. So let's start with dumbbell twists. We're gonna anchor your heels. We're gonna lean back, nice flat back, strong core until you can feel the abs. So I'm leaning back 2 inches. You're gonna lean back here, okay? You're gonna twist holding both dumbbells or 1 dumbbell or body weight, your choice, from side to side, okay? You're gonna tap those dumbbells or those hands on the side, look over that shoulder. We're there for 30 seconds. Ready, set, let's do it. Twist and tap. So if you're holding both weights, you can be like this. I'm just not gonna do weights for my abs. And again, that's because I'm pregnant. And unless you guys have not told me, you are not pregnant. 10 more seconds. Let that breath out as you twist. If you wanted to make this harder, you could take the legs off, but if they're swaying like crazy, anchor and rest. Next up, we're gonna do figure 8s, okay? So I'm not even gonna attempt this one. This is all you guys. Legs are gonna be straight. You're gonna take 1 dumbbell if you're using a dumbbell. You're gonna lean back way further than me, almost to the floor, okay? And you're gonna come up, lift 1 leg, pass the dumbbell behind it. Lay back, come up, pass it. So it's back and forth. Ready? Let's go. Lay back, come up and pass. Lay back, come up and pass. Keep going. And again, you're going really far, where your abs are super challenged and you got to pull to come back up. And then if it feels too much, keep going. You got 15 seconds. But if it feels too much, just stay higher or slightly bend the knees, and that should help. And you can always go body weight instead of passing the dumbbell. 8 seconds, 1 leg at a time, up and back, up and back. 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, rest. 20 seconds, legs straight again. We're gonna do a weighted earthquake pulse. So we're gonna hold both weights or both hands out in front of you. You're gonna lean back until you can get shaky, that earthquake name, okay? So you're gonna lean back pretty far, okay? Probably close to that floor. Once you're in your point of shake, pulse it, little pulse forward and back. Ready? Let's go. So come back, just find that position to start. And then if it feels okay, pulse it. If you'd rather just hold, you can just hold. If you want to make it easier, stay up higher like I am, and or bend the knees, okay? So you can make it work. Keep going. You've got 15 more seconds, and I want you breathing through it. And I would way rather you feel this and not to be able to make it through the 30 seconds. Stop at 20 seconds, stop at 15, than for you to get through 30 without feeling it. In 3, 2, 1, rest. Next up, Pilates circles. So you're gonna lay totally flat on your back. You're gonna take both legs up to tabletop. Thigh straight up, shin straight across. Take both legs up. I can only put up one, keeping my core connection. But knee is stacked over your hip, and you're gonna crunch up, pass the dumbbell behind your leg to the other hand, lay back, crunch up, and pass it back. Ready, set, let's go. So 90 degrees, crunch up, pass the dumbbell behind your legs, lay totally flat. Crunch up, pass it behind your legs, lay totally flat. Keep switching sides, and if it's too much to pass the dumbbell behind your legs, either don't use the dumbbell and pretend, or use the dumbbell but just crunch up and pass it at the bottom of the move instead of the top. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, you're gonna lay totally flat on the floor. We're gonna do a starfish, touch the opposite toe. So you're laying in your starfish, you're gonna hold both weights if you're using them. One leg lifts and you crunch up to meet it, trying to take the dumbbell or your hand to the opposite foot. 5 seconds. You can make it easier by letting the legs travel further. 3, 2, 1. Starfish, touch the opposite toe. Starfish, touch the opposite toe. So you're laying totally flat on the floor, legs and arms touching the floor, and then come up and see if they can meet halfway, opposite arm and leg. If that feels like too much, leg travels most of the way, you do a little crunch and or bend your knees. Way more than halfway through it, 10 seconds, that breath is coming out as you're coming up. So audible breath out. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Catch your breath. We're going to flip over into a plank position. We're just going to use one dumbbell. Plank weighted T opens. So you're going to find your plank. You're going to lift your dumbbell close to your body, extend it up, come back to the plank, switch to the other side. And I want you to rotate totally into a side plank so your hip bones face the side. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Open up to the side. Bring it back, switch to the other side. Now, a way you can modify this is obviously going body weight, using your hand instead of the dumbbell, or you could do it on your knees, extending the top leg. So if I were to do it, I would do it like this. And that's a good modification for a little less demanding on the core and a little more control. 7 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Rest. We're going to stay in a plank position. We're going to do a plank, move the dumbbell to the opposite foot. So I'm in my plank. I'm going to squeeze my abs, lift my dumbbell back to the opposite foot, back to my plank, over to the other side. Okay? If that feels like too much, use your hand. In 3, 2, 1. Plank. Dumbbell comes to the opposite foot, back to your plank, over to the other side. So make sure you always get that butt dropped back to the plank in the middle. Now, if it's too much, take that dumbbell away. Just use your hand. If you're not making it to the foot, that's okay. Make it as far back as you can. Way more than halfway through it. Keep breathing, keep moving. 10 more seconds. See if you can squeeze in at least 2 more. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. 20 seconds. Last move in round 1, hovering bear. So you're going to put your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, flat back. We're going to tuck the toes under, lift the knees just like 2 inches above the floor. Now, if that feels like enough, awesome. Hold that position. If you can, you're going to hold it. Pretend my knees are up while you move the dumbbell between your knees and up. Ready, set, let's go. So move it between your knees and up with the knees just above the floor. Stay on the same side. I'm going to let you know when you're halfway, and then you can switch to the other hand. So you're just going between the legs and up. Switch sides if you're using the dumbbell, between your legs and up, between your legs and up. If you're just holding hovering bear, just hold it. Maintain that little knee lift. And if you're moving that dumbbell, watch that one knee isn't lifting higher. 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, you know all the moves. We're going to do it again, but we're cutting the rest in half. So first round, you had 20 seconds between each move. This round, you only have 10. So we're back to your dumbbell twists in 15 seconds. So we're either going to anchor the heels, or if you want to make it harder, you can lift the legs off. Just make sure the legs stay pretty still. And we're going to twist from side to side. In 3, 2, 1, let's twist. So lean back so you already feel that burn. You can hold both dumbbells, you can hold one dumbbell, or you can do your hands. And you're looking all the way over that shoulder. Nice big twist, feeling those obliques. You're already halfway there, 15 seconds down, 15 to go. And this is the second last time that we're going through this circuit. So make it count. 8 more seconds, side to side, nice big twist, rotating the upper body, keeping the legs glued. 3, 2, 1, rest. 10 seconds, figure 8. So we're gonna straighten the legs out. You're gonna lean back. If you're holding a dumbbell, you're gonna come up and pass it behind each leg. Leaning back, coming up and passing. Leaning back, coming up and passing. Let's go. Lean it back, up and pass. So lift that leg up as you come up and pass that dumbbell underneath it, leaning back in between each rep and always keeping the feet glued as you lean back, okay? Way more than halfway through it, 12 seconds to go. You wanna lean back far enough that it's hard, it's a challenge. 7 seconds, how's that breath going? How's that core connection going? Lift up and in. 3, 2, 1, rest. Quick 10-second rest, keeping those legs straight. Weighted earthquake pulses in 5. So we're gonna lean back till we get shaky. We're gonna pulse it. 3, 2, 1, lean back, find that earthquake and pulse it. I'm gonna modify by anchoring my heels, bending my knees and staying up higher, and I'm just gonna hold. If you wanna make it harder, the version I gave you, straight legs, leaning way back further and pulsing, and with weights. Way more than halfway, make sure you're maintaining that core position, no coning, no bulging in the midline of your abs. 7 seconds, 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. 10 seconds, Pilates circle. So lay with your back totally flat on the mat. Take your legs up to tabletop, thighs straight up, shin straight across. You're gonna pass your dumbbell behind your legs. Ready? Let's do it. So crunch up, pass it behind, lay all the way back down. Crunch up, pass it back, lay all the way back down. Keep switching and watch those knees. Those knees want to come in closer to you because that obviously makes it easier to pass. Don't let that happen. Knees stacked over the hips. You come to those legs. 8 seconds. If you need to modify, just crunch up in 3, 2, 1, and rest. 10 seconds, laying totally flat in your starfish position, coming up, opposite dumbbell to foot, laying back in that starfish and over to the other side. 3, 2, 1, find that starfish. If you're using a dumbbell, take it to the opposite foot. If you're just using your hands, take your hand to your foot. Ideally, we're meeting halfway, so that upper body has to come and meet those legs. If that's too challenging, let the leg come mostly to you. If it still feels too hard, bend the knees, place the feet on the floor and go from there. The bent knees is such an easy, quick modification you can use for every single ab move. 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, rest. 10 seconds, flip it over, plank weighted T open. So if you're using your dumbbell, put it right in between your hands. In 3, 2, 1, weighted T open. Then back to the center and over to the other side. And we really want to make sure we rotate completely so we're facing the side of the room. The dumbbell comes in close to the body and then it extends, and we're maintaining that core connection the entire time. You are so close. You only have 10 seconds left. On your toes if you can. If you want to modify like I was, you're on your knees and you're just extending the top leg as you rotate. 3, 2, 1, rest. 10 seconds, you're going into your plank with your weighted toe tap or just with body weight, making sure you make it back to the plank in between each rep. Ready? Let's do it. Find that plank, bring that dumbbell or the hand to the opposite foot, that butt rises, and then we drop that butt back down so we can find that same plank before we go to the other side. Doing so well. You guys have been through over 11 minutes of this circuit. You have 4 minutes to go, including rest, and we get some of that rest in 10 seconds. See if you can squeeze in a couple more. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. 10 seconds rest, hovering bear. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're gonna lift it up, and you can just hold, or you can move the dumbbell. 3, 2, 1. So find hovering bear. If you're cool with adding in the dumbbell, move it from with one arm between the legs, between those knees, between the hands. I'm gonna let you know when to switch. I'll let you know when we're halfway there. And switch. Same thing with the other hand. Unless you're just holding hovering bear, just hang out. But if you're moving that dumbbell, other hand moves it between your knees, between your hands. You're almost done. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Amazing job. We're not quite done. One more round. It is a speed round. There is no rest. We're gonna except when we switch from our back into our plank, and 20 seconds each move instead of 30. So dumbbell twists one last time in 5. Get ready, set up that core. 3, 2, 1. Twist and twist. Use that breath. Lift up from the pelvic floor into the spine. Wrap those obliques. Use that breath to help you. In 5 seconds, right into your figure 8s. 3, 2, 1. Straight legs. Lay back. Come up and pass it. Lay back. Come up and pass it. Keep switching. And if you need to modify, bend those knees. Stay up a little higher with the upper body. You're already halfway through it in 10 seconds. Right into those earthquake pulses. Or if you'd rather hold it, you can hold it. 5 more seconds here. Keep passing. 3, 2, 1. Earthquake. Lean it back. Once you get to a spot that feels challenging, you're going to pulse it. And if it feels like you just want to hold it, you can hold it. You don't need to pulse. If it feels like you need to modify, bend those knees, brace those ankles or those heels. In 5 seconds, Pilates circles. 3, 2, 1. Lay back. Crunch up. Pass it behind the legs. They're at 90 degrees. Crunch up and pass it back. Upper body is laying totally flat on that mat. You're doing your Pilates circles and you're already more than halfway through it. In 8 seconds, starfish, touch the opposite toe. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Starfish, touch the opposite toe. Starfish, touch the opposite toe. Try to meet it halfway if you can. Let that breath out as you come up. You can always modify. You can always let the legs do most of the traveling. You can always bend the knees. In 5 seconds, we get a quick short rest. 3, 2, 1. Short rest just to flip over into your plank position and adjust those dumbbells. Plank weighted T opens in 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Open it up. Bring it back down. Switch to the other side. Feeling those obliques, obviously feeling the shoulder and the back from using that weight and using a lot of inner core muscles to stabilize so that weight doesn't pull you all over the place. 5 more seconds. In 3, 2, weight, touch the opposite foot, come back to the center, then over to the other side for the same thing. You can always just use body weight. You can always shorten that range of motion. You can always come to your knees instead of being on your toes. In 7 seconds, you have your last move. It is a hovering bear hold. In 3, 2, 1. Hovering bear. Either hold it and move that weight back and forth. It is so much harder than it seems like it should be. Switch hands if you're moving that weight. Between your knees, between your hands. 7 more seconds. You got this. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. You did it. And I did it, filming this 2 times in a row. Thank you so much for sweating with me. I will see you in the next one.